Welcome to Spotlight 814, Erie's local theater podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Dolly, and I am in the studio with Brenna Thumler.
That's the worst way you've ever said my name.
Brenna Thumler.
Unfortunately, that's me.
That's you. Hi, Brenna.
Hi, Ryan.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm better now that I said your name like that.
It's terrible to hear. Okay.
Brenna Thumler. Oh, boy.
Let's get into the episode.
I haven't slept much in the last few days, so it's going to be one of those days, I think.
I think that'll be really entertaining for our people.
I think maybe, yeah.
Just never sleep again.
Never sleep again.
And bring joy to everybody else but yourself.
Everyone but myself. Okay. I heard a song on the way here that kind of ties into the first topic of the day.
Okay.
So we saw a show last night.
Yeah. Was it a show from the musical? Because
it was not a song from the musical, but it really kind of tied in. And it's a song I never knew existed. It was from Elton John, and it's called I'm Gonna Kill Myself.
Oh.
And it was like a tap number. It was like super happy.
Wait, okay. You mean in your mind you're visualizing it as a tap number?
No, like there's actually tap dancing in the background of the music.
What?
Yeah. It's right here.
Is this, I mean, if there's tap dancing in the background, you'd think it's already from a musical.
I don't think it is so. It's mind-blowing. It just popped up on my Spotify, like, randomly.
Oh, Elton John is out there supporting the tap dancers.
It's called I Think I'm Going to Kill Myself.
And it's by Elton John.
By Elton John, and it's definitely a tap number.
Wow.
Yeah. So...
great segue.
So, yeah, Heathers the musical.
There's no tap, sadly.
No tap, but there is definitely suicide.
And let's actually jump into that first. Let's just hit the ground running here and talk about the incorporation of a lot of difficult mental health issues into a rather peppy, satirical stage musical.
Yeah. So, if you guys don't know, Heathers the musical is playing at Meadville Community Theater.
Mm-hmm.
Directed by Mary Beth McCarthy. We checked it out. Sold out opening night at the Oddfellows building last night, and
by the time this episode airs, you will still have time to go see it because it is happening. Oh, what are the dates next weekend? I don't even know.
It runs until the 21st.
Right, so it's the 19th, 20th, and 21st.
Yeah,
are the dates that'll be showing.
Yeah, so Friday, Saturday, 7:30, Sunday at 2:00, and let's talk about the show.
Yeah. So I guess, first of all, we should say, I'm guessing that most people are aware that Heathers is a movie that exists. But if you don't, let's quickly touch on that. Heathers, the musical, is based on the original cult classic Heathers from 1989, which was written by Daniel Waters. Mm-hmm. And so it's very close, story-wise, to the original musical, or the original movie.
I hear there are some differences. I've never seen the movie.
I will say, I don't remember the movie that well, but I remember not caring for it. And I liked the musical. So I think like I said, it was as far as a dark show, it was rather peppy. Yeah. And I don't remember the movie being that way.
Right.
So it's a rock musical, and the music, lyrics, and book are by Lawrence O'Keefe and Kevin Murphy. The film itself was really dark and bleak, and actually the time that it came out in 1989, it was not well received. Winona Ryder was already pretty big at that time, and even she could not convince the world to go for this movie. So then the off-Broadway musical production hit in 2014 and saw a run from March until August, which was rather short, but it received a lot of praise during that time.
Okay. So let's talk about the show. we did talk about suicide already on the show. Now, suicide is a theme in the show.
Yeah, so trigger warning.
Trigger warning. I know, like, for the time of the movie and stuff like that, like, suicide was not really taken seriously.
It just wasn't talked about in media as much. So
right.
People didn't really know what you could do and still be okay doing it.
Right. So the musical doesn't really take it seriously either. And go ahead and speak on that. I mean,
so it's a tough line to cross, because if you're going to do a musical adaptation of a movie that's already sort of not taking suicide in the regard that we should be taking it, I'll say.
Right.
Do you lose the essence of the film and make it a tragic musical when it's not what Heathers is?
Right.
Or because actually, so I was reading up about the writer, the musical writers, so Lawrence O'Keefe and Kevin Murphy, and they did this interview with Playbill. Mm-hmm. And they said that a trick they used was using positive language to convey ugly ideas and depict cruel behavior. So they wanted the characters to essentially express positivity even when they're doing bad things.
Right.
And this would allow for fun numbers rather than having a bunch of, like, a massive set list of really horrible, sad songs.
Yeah, that makes sense. Lawrence O'Keefe, if you guys don't know, he did the music for, what was it?
Legally Blonde.
Legally Blonde, and he also did Bat Boy the Musical, which I am very well versed in. Another show that's dark and has peppy numbers. Yeah. So he's pretty good with that.
They said that they, quote, it sets a tone that affords the audience permission to laugh even while exploring serious issues like bullying, teen suicide, and violence in schools. Yep. So they're trying to make a comedy here, and how do you make a comedy that also involves depression and suicide and violence? Like,
right. Especially nowadays where there's, like, school violence like crazy.
And yeah, I mean, it just keeps getting worse.
Right.
But it's clearly always been there.
Yeah. But the show itself, we had a lot of fun.
It's a great show. I mean, it's the thing, like, it's going to speak differently to certain people.
Yeah, for sure. Shauna Daisley, she played Veronica Sawyer.
Our protagonist.
Yes, she was great.
I thought she was amazing.
Yeah, her facial expressions, the way she delivered the lines, like, she was very funny.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I feel like, I mean, like I said, I don't really remember the movie all that well, but I know Winona Ryder.
Yeah.
And I know that she doesn't do, like, the charming kind of, like, I don't know, comical and sweet character. Like, I don't remember her being that way as Veronica Sawyer, and Shauna captured that, and I loved that.
Yeah.
I loved how different she was from the Heathers.
Right. And then you have Duncan Prather.
Duncan.
Our good friend Duncan.
Duncan, you are amazing.
He played JD. And Duncan, he's a quiet guy. Duncan's quiet. He doesn't talk much.
He's just very reserved.
Yeah.
But so nice. Such a nice person.
Yeah.
And JD.
He's a murderer. And what's that guy? He reminds me of that guy from The Breakfast Club.
Oh, yeah. Judd.
Yeah.
Whoever.
Yeah, except, like, murderous Judd.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is, so actually, that's another good point I should bring up, is that the reason why this wasn't so well received back in 1989 is that John Hughes movies were really popular at that time.
Okay.
And they're like, oh, how sweet, The Breakfast Club. Like,
right.
They all get together, and, like, the basket case becomes so-called beautiful, and suddenly everybody loves her, and everything's gonna be fine. And then they see Heathers, it's like, oh, everybody's dying everywhere.
There is a lot of death in this show. Let's see, we have the three Heathers. Kiara Zarambinski. I'm so bad at these names.
Let's both try it, and maybe one of us will get it right. Okay.
I'm gonna say Zarambinski.
Zarambinski. I think you're right. Zarambinski.
As Heather Chandler. Isabella James as Heather McNamara. and our friend Lauren Hale as Heather Duke.
Mm-hmm. We know Lauren from Cabaret.
Right. And Duncan from Cabaret.
Yeah, and Robbie from Cabaret.
And Robbie.
Who we'll talk about him later. But, one thing I feel is really interesting about the Heathers is that I don't exactly remember them from the movie, but the personalities are so distinct.
Yeah.
And I have to wonder, I mean, when you look at the writing alone, there isn't a lot of difference between these three characters, but they're so wonderfully unique and perfectly cast.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm wondering if that was a musical choice, the original off-Broadway musical, or if that was how they were in the movie.
Yeah, I really don't know because I've never seen the movie.
But
I probably never will, honestly. I don't know.
I thought they were. I mean, you have Lauren, like the sassy one who's going to take over the world eventually.
Yeah.
Bella was like the comical one. So great. I think she's my favorite Heather.
Her voice is insane, by the way. Like, in a good way.
And then Heather Chandler.
Yeah.
Kiera.
Yeah, all three of them were great.
Mm-hmm.
In their own way. Like, they were fantastic. And then one of the standouts of the show, in my opinion, was Ellen McCarthy as Martha Dump Truck Dunstock.
Yeah, the sad best friend that gets thrown to the side when Veronica decides she wants to be popular.
Yeah, I thought she did a great job. Beautiful voice.
I know, and she's sort of the one who keeps the show a little bit grounded.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm not at all part of this world.
Right.
I'm the only person who is not involved in any killing or any sort of violence or dark themes whatsoever. She just sings about unicorns, and it's very charming.
Yeah.
She was very charming.
The T-shirt that she wears in the show is...
Do you own it?
No. It's got like a rainbow and a unicorn and a cat on the unicorn.
Yeah.
And it's a picture of her own cat.
What?
Yeah.
It was custom made just for... Oh, man.
She told me that last night.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was great.
I wonder what company does this. Can you just, like, plug your own cat onto a unicorn?
I'm sure you can. Yeah. This is probably like an Etsy operation.
Yeah. I need to look into this.
Yes.
How great would Vinny look riding a unicorn?
He'd look fantastic.
Right?
Vincent is majestic.
But more so on a flying horse.
I agree. Majestic.
Let's talk about the jocks.
Yeah, so Robbie Brown.
Robbie! You killed it.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, we won't give any spoilers, but there were so many killings, and you were one of the greats.
You and Cole Luce as Kurt Kelly and Ram Sweeney. You guys were awesome.
Your typical, the stereotypes for jocks.
Yeah.
They played them well.
Yeah.
Better than well.
They had their little moments where, they would look at each other. Like, the timing was perfect.
There's that scene in The Office where Jenna and Jim do the air high five.
Yeah.
And they talked about how difficult that was to get the timing perfectly. And that moment, when Robbie and Cole just kind of glance over at each other and then look back, that must have taken so much work.
But they do it several times in the show, and it's great every time.
Right, it never gets old.
Yeah, it's really good.
The physical humor, the slow motion fight scene, that's how they got around it. Was like they could have these massive fight scenes, but do them in slow motion, so no one had to get hurt.
Yeah. And I just want to say how proud I am of Robbie, because Robbie just started doing theater, like, maybe last year.
And he was pulled in against his will, essentially.
Right, by Julia.
Yeah. Julia was just like, hey, Robbie, you're going to do Mamma Mia, right? And Robbie's like, I guess I am now.
And then he hasn't stopped since.
Yeah.
And
I think this is his fourth show.
Yeah.
Mamma Mia and Rocky Horror and Cabaret and now Heathers.
And he's been loving it. Like, he's a jock. He's a jock. He's your typical jock.
Yeah.
Like, from high school. Like, and that's what I used to be. Like, I see a lot of myself in Robbie. Like,
In Robbie or Robbie's character?
No, in Robbie.
Okay.
Like, personally.
Okay.
Like,
That's good.
because he was on the wrestling team. He was on the football team. And that's what I was doing. I was playing.
You're a modern day Finn Hudson.
Right, right. Troy Bolton. Like I played football. I played baseball. I was on the wrestling team, and I was like, I'm gonna try out for the musical just because. Why not?
And now look at where you all are.
And yeah.
Well, there's a lot of physicality that happens on the stage. So having people who have used their bodies a lot and know how to, I don't know, lift their arms and hold them there.
Look, I'm holding my arms up.
See, I get a first-hand demonstration right now.
Yep,
so strong.
Holding my arms up. But I'm really proud of Robbie. Killed it. Your voice is getting stronger.
Yeah, Robbie's taking lessons from the same person I'm taking lessons from,
yeah.
and he's doing so great. Just so many shout-outs to Robbie right now.
Yeah, and another person that stood out to me, who I wanted the sound to be better for this song, because Glenn Tuttle.
Yeah, Glenn.
The song. What's the name of the song? It's
My Dead Gay Son.
My Dead Gay Son, and it was great. It was a beautifully sung by Glenn, but you could barely hear him.
Yeah, because the ensemble sings behind him.
Yeah,
and it's a large cast.
Yeah,
for a small space, so he was a little overpowered.
Yeah,
and that was sad. We wanted to hear you, Glenn.
Yeah, so if you guys get a chance to go see it, be extra quiet when Glenn is singing, and hopefully you'll hear him.
If you're listening, I remember meeting you as a little girl because you used to do shows with my dad. But but I'm so glad that you're still kicking it in theater.
Hell yeah. Now, Heathers, it's I guess you would consider it a horror.
It's a slasher. It's a bit of a slasher.
A slasher horror musical. There's another horror musical coming to the stage.
I just found out about this yesterday.
Yeah. Teeth.
Let's let that simmer in your minds for a bit.
Teeth. The horror movie about the woman with a killer vagina.
I've never seen this movie, but I'm aware of it, and I'm sure that a lot of people are in a similar situation where they've not watched it, but they know.
They know what it is.
It exists.
Yeah. It's Mitchell Lichtenstein's 2007 horror film Teeth. And it's about a young woman named Dawn who has just joined a Christian abstinence group and has elected to leave sex out of her life until she is able to be married. Now, at about the same time, Dawn finds that she has a series of razor-sharp teeth in her vagina.
Something we all realize at one point in our lives.
Right. This development terrifies her, but she also finds that it can fight back against the multiple men who attempt to assault her throughout the film. Several men will not exit the film wholly intact.
I can't imagine they would if their teeth biting back.
Teeth is an excellent coming-of-age drama that confronts backwards notions of sexual purity, angrily addresses the constant objectification of adolescent women, and is a wonderfully wicked tale of feminist vengeance. This is according to this article that I'm reading. I feel like there's a better way to do it.
You mean
like not having teeth in the vagina? I don't.
A different way to capture that concept in a film.
Yes.
Okay.
But let it be known that I had the idea to do this musical specifically about 10, 15 years ago.
So apparently there is something about this movie that lends itself to the stage in musical form.
Yes. I had the idea. I was sitting down with my friend Matt Franz, and I was like, you know what? I want to write Teeth the musical. And he was like, oh my God, dude, do it.
Did he go and spread the word? Is it all Matt's fault?
Maybe.
that your idea was stolen?
It could be. I don't know. I'm really upset though that this is happening and I'm not involved. Yeah.
I just can't imagine what the songs are going to be like. So it's a comedy then. Is it a comedy? I mean, it's a horror comedy.
It's gotta be. So according to a report in MovieWeb, Michael R. Jackson and Anna K. Jacobs are currently in the midst of adapting Teeth into a high-profile stage musical. A sample version of the musical previously debuted at the 31st Annual Festival of New Musicals in 2019. Some of the show's songs can already be heard on the festival website. I'm going to have to check that out.
Yeah, because the preview is supposed to happen February 2024. It's really soon.
Yeah. So some of the songs are titled Modest is the Hottest.
No.
And Dentata.
Stop. Okay, so it's gotta be a black comedy.
Yeah, the latter, Dentata contains a lot of male screaming. So, yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to be a song about...
Yeah, the dentalness of...
Eating.
Is this going... Do you know if it's going to be on Broadway
this
or
is off-Broadway.
Off-Broadway, okay.
Off-Broadway. Yeah, it will debut as part of the Playwrights Horizons 2024 season at the Main Stage Theater in New York City. The show will begin previews in February and will be directed by Sarah Benson, who most recently directed productions of Fairview in 2019 and In the Blood in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
So
we're going to see this, right?
I feel like we have to. We absolutely have to.
We have to do a follow-up episode.
Yeah.
We can't leave the people hanging. Let's
plan for February 2024 trip to New York.
Okay.
Get your calendar ready.
It's always ready.
So that brings us to the horror
genre of musical theater.
Yeah. So, this is just the most recent one. Famously, there's Little Shop of Horrors.
Sweeney Todd.
Yeah, Little Shop of Horrors. Well, Sweeney Todd was not, adapted.
Oh, you mean from film, you mean.
But Sweeney Todd is definitely a horror musical. There's Little Shop of Horrors, Evil Dead, the musical. There's Silence, which is the Silence of the Lambs musical.
I didn't know that existed.
That's a thing, yeah. Beetlejuice, which we saw and we loved.
That's such a good musical.
The Toxic Avenger, and let's see, Creature from the Black Lagoon.
That's a musical?
I guess. American Psycho, which is a great movie, and I don't know about the musical.
I've never heard of any of these. So
what?
I've heard of the movies, but not the fact that they've been turned into musicals.
Yeah, Heathers obviously is there, and Carrie.
You know what? I was going to ask you if you wanted a musical or a movie turned into a musical. What would it be? I would think Carrie would make a great musical.
Well, Carrie ran for 5 performances in 1988 on Broadway.
Never mind. This is why my ideas are not becoming stage musicals. We're doing well.
But I would love to see Carrie done, in one of the community theaters around here.
Yeah.
I think it would be awesome.
Buckets of pig blood.
Yeah. If you're listening, Dramashop. Pack a...
They should just do a whole season of horror musicals.
I agree. I would love that.
Yeah.
I would love that. Speaking of horror musicals, there is a horror comedy coming to one of our local theaters coming up soon. And we're going to get into that very soon after our intermission here. So don't go away.
We'll be right back. Brenna Thumler.
Brenna Thumler? All right, welcome back, everybody. I don't know what that accent was.
Your voices are just getting worse and worse as the day goes on.
All right, everybody, welcome back.
We are here on the studio.
Welcome back to Spotlight 814.
Way down under.
I don't know where I'm going. Where am I from? Okay.
So, we just mentioned there's something upcoming at the Academy Theater.
The Academy Theater has just released their 2023-2024 season.
Yes, we've been waiting impatiently for so long.
We've been waiting. We've been like fighting Julia. Like, give us a season. Give us the season. Yeah, at least like give us a hint. Give us some hints. She never gave us some hints until the day before they released the season.
I admire her tenacity.
She's a strong, independent woman.
Yes, she is. We love you, Julia.
We love you.
So let's just briefly touch on what's coming to the Academy next season.
The Academy Theater is opening their season October 6th with Young Frankenstein.
Yet another one in the quasi-horror.
This would be like horror comedy.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like straight up comedy, basically.
Right. But it's Frankenstein.
Yeah.
So it's Halloweenish.
Yeah. So that'll be like the Halloween season show. Young Frankenstein. Can't wait for that one. It's hilarious.
I still have yet to see that movie. I'm embarrassed to say. I've been meaning to watch it.
I think we're watching it today.
Okay.
I think that's going to be a thing we do today.
Please, let's do it.
This one's for the young ones. We have Disney's Frozen Jr. will be running December 8th through 17th.
And that'll be really popular. That's going to bring in so many families.
Yes. The entire Crest family will be in that. Yeah. If you're listening, Rick, we love you guys. Keep it up.
Yeah. The fact that your whole family is participating in theaters, it's such a nice activity for you all to do together. And
it's amazing that the whole family gets involved. You can see most of the family in Finding Nemo right now.
Yeah, and that's Playhouse. Running for 3 weekends.
Yeah, so we'll get into that in a little bit. Mm-hmm. The next show in the season is Anastasia,
which I am so excited about. You don't even know.
That'll be February 2nd to the 25th. I don't know anything about that show. I've never seen the movie.
Oh man, it's not your typical Disney princess movie. It's a lot darker.
Yeah,
it's based on a true story. There obviously the animated film takes it in a much different direction, but it's about Anastasia who has lost her memory and has to kind of trace her past.
Okay. And
oh man, I've not seen the musical, but I loved the movie growing up. So I'm very, very excited for that one.
Well, I will have to listen to the cast recording. I've not heard any of it. And then April 12th to the 5th is going to be Fiddler on the Roof. Mm-hmm. So a little tradition there for you.
Yeah, it's a classic.
Classic, yeah. And then July 12th through August 4th next year, 2024, is Jersey Boys. And I cannot wait to audition for that one.
That's been on your list.
I have been waiting to do that show. I've been called back for it so many times in New York, and I've been called in to do the Frankie Valli bootcamp when I was overseas in South Korea. They're like, "Hey, Frankie Valli bootcamp is tomorrow. See you there." And I'm like, "I'm in Korea, so no, you won't."
Wait, what is Frankie Valli Boot Camp?
So for the Broadway production of Jersey Boys and for the national tour, in order to play Frankie Valli on Broadway, you had to go through Frankie Valli Boot Camp, which is a 2-week series of learning the choreography and learning the harmonies and making exercising your voice to hit the high notes and stuff because it's super high.
Right.
And if you get through Frankie Boot Camp, you get into the show.
So where does that lie in the procedure of things? Like, do you audition for the Broadway production first, and then if you're kind of like in the running, then you go to boot camp, and then you're in the show?
If you are in the running, you're gonna get a call for boot camp.
Okay, I got you. Yeah.
And this is only for Frankie. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if you're up for any other role, like, you might get it without having any of that. But if you're up for Frankie Valli, you're going to boot camp. And
do you have to wear camouflage?
I don't know. I doubt it. They might not see you. Hey-o. So yeah, Frankie boot camp. It's a real thing. Look it up. It's intense, apparently.
Do you think the Academy is going to make you go through Frankie Valli boot camp?
They should. They should do that. I would support that, actually. I think that everybody involved should go through a Frankie Valli boot camp.
You heard it here first, Julia /Ted / whoever's going to do it.
I've heard it's Ted directing. I'm gonna have to find out from him.
We'll have more on that later on.
Yeah.
Who's going to be doing the shows?
Yeah. So we have some other news. What do you want to talk about now?
What's the Marian School District?
Okay.
We actually briefly touched on this in our last episode.
Yeah. So it's an Indiana high school district. Let's see. Let me pull this up. It's the Northwest Allen County Schools. So they canceled a production of Marian, the true tale of Robin Hood, earlier this year. And apparently they canceled it because of gender and...
Right, isn't the one with the non-binary character and...
Yeah.
Just LGBTQ.
Yeah, and, classic parent outrage
And this was when we were discussing the censorship problems in the last episode. We mentioned this one. So
this one was canceled over the show's gay and non-binary characters. The play is described by Concord Theatricals as a gender-bending, patriarchy-smashing new take on the tale of Robin Hood. So this version of the story recasts Robin Hood as Maid Marian in disguise, leading a group of mostly non-male merry men, which sounds hilarious.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome. So yeah, of course, parents had a meltdown, and they're like, can't have my kids playing those non-binary bees.
The transgender rocks.
Yeah, can't have that. So the school canceled, and the students decided that they were going to do it anyway. So good for them.
Yeah.
They are doing a one-night only performance. And that's going to be May 20th, so that is next week. And it'll be at the Follinger Outdoor Theater. And yeah.
Kids, you heard it here first. If you're passionate about something and some adult says, we don't like that, but it matters to you, you find a way around it.
Do it anyway.
You do what you feel is right.
Do it.
Because... like, what's that guy's Pondiccio from the conservative whatever it was like, school's there to teach students what's important, what's valuable to know about. Wrong.
And who are you to tell me what's valuable to learn about?
Yeah. Who has the authority to decide what is valuable in life?
Right.
So, young people out there, if you want a show to go on, you find a way to let it go on. It might not be the way you wanted to do it, but you find a way.
Yep, exactly. I love that. I love that they're saying screw it. Let's go out and do it.
Look, something negative turned into something positive. We promise you guys we would not have negative stuff.
It wouldn't always be negative. I mean, a lot of things are going to be negative because that's the world we live in.
This is planet Earth.
Yep.
This is where we are as a society.
That is true.
But we also have some more positive news, and this is...
What?
Yeah, 2 things. At least 2 things.
You just blew my mind.
I'm so glad.
Holy crap.
Okay, so this is actually exciting local within the 814 theater news. And that is that educator Martha Heise, I want to say it's Heise. Heise or Heise?
Heise, I'd say Heise, yeah.
Because in German it would be Heise. But
we're not in Germany.
Well, some people's names are from Germany.
But we're not there.
Okay, so Heise. And then we'll just go with that, fine. So she's an educator within the Oil City School District, and she's been an educator there for 28 years. She also works at the Barrow Civic Theater and does youth theater camps, and she has been nominated as a Carter finalist for the Music Educator Award from the Recording Academy and Grammy Museum. So, essentially, she's up for a Grammy.
Say what?
For being a music educator. There are 12 people in Pennsylvania who are quarterfinalists, and then there are 212 total in nationwide. So in September, it'll be narrowed down to semifinalists based on 2 videos they have to submit. It's like a video of them teaching, and then one of them answering questions. And then the winner will be announced Grammy Week 2024.
Wow.
So that's a local educator, people.
Yeah. We'll have to talk to Sean Clerkin because I know he has performed at Barrow Civic Theater.
There have been a lot of people. Actually, there's a lot of overlap with Academy performers also performing at Barrow Civic.
Yeah. So we need to look into this and see if we can maybe talk to her.
That'd be awesome.
That would be fantastic. So, yeah. What's her name again?
Martha Heise.
Martha Heise.
Congratulations, Martha.
Yeah, no matter how far you get in the process at this point.
Yeah, 212, only 212 in the entire country.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Incredible. So congratulations.
Yeah. Positivity. Positivity. You got positivity. Okay. Positivity. So I guess we can kind of jump into upcoming things.
We can. Now?
Is there anything else you wanted to say?
That's so positive. I am like...
We're going out with that.
Like,
and now.
Everything's so positive right now. I just...
Are you really uncomfortable?
Yeah. Like, I don't know how to feel. This is like... I'm out of my comfort zone.
It's a whole new feeling. A whole new world. I'm just throwing out all kinds of lyrics right now from Disney movies. Okay. So upcoming. So what is that face?
This is like my confusion face.
Do I have to do this all by myself right now? You look like you're lost.
I am lost. I'm lost in this like positive world.
It's a good place to be lost in.
This is like not what I'm used to.
Would you rather be lost in a terrible, tragic place?
I mean, that's what I'm used to. So I mean,
that's
that's where I'm comfortable.
Let's dive into that. Where is the line between like comfort with normalcy and discomfort with bad things?
What's normalcy? What define normalcy?
I guess there are 2 different options here. It's like normalcy is a standard of living that most people consider to be normal versus normalcy for the individual, which could be bad. So it's
you just said too many words.
So it's normalcy for society versus normalcy for individual.
Okay. I mean, like, you know, all that positivity just made me like freeze up.
So this is a normalcy for individual situation where you are not okay with feeling okay.
I'm never okay.
Let's talk about what's coming up in the world of theater.
I'm going to go listen to that Elton John song on my way home and tap dance my life away.
I will so join you in that. But okay, so Erie Playhouse. I just read that they are going to be hosting a full-day youth theater camp. Youth theater. They combine the words. Anyway. Youth theater summer camp.
Let's talk about that. How does that make you feel?
I'm out of my comfort zone. It's not spelled right. My whole normalcy is grammar. My state of comfort is when things are written well.
It's been like that for a long time. We support everything that the Erie Playhouse says with the youth theater.
Oh, yes.
But is it youth theater or is it youth eater?
It's a youth eater. They eat the youths.
Don't eat the youth.
Youths, stay away.
Don't eat the youth.
No, don't participate. Participate because it is. I did theater camps when I was younger at the academy, and they hold such a beautiful place in my heart. And I encourage you guys to sign up. There are 2 different sessions. One is being held June 19th through the 23rd with a show on the 24th. And then the second one is July 17th through the 21st with a show on the 22nd. So it runs Monday through Fridays, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. You'll be doing all sorts of theater activities and such. And it's $225 a session. And that includes the $25 registration fee. So
that is awesome.
Yeah, it's a cool thing to get involved with over the summer if you're looking to work on your theater chops.
Yeah, so parents, if you want to get rid of your kids for a week.
And have them do some fun learning.
Yep.
Singing and dancing and acting.
If you want to kick them to the curb and have them dress up in costumes and...
Right.
But mostly just want to get rid of them for a week.
Which is, let's be honest, what parents are doing in the summer.
Yeah.
It's 3 months. It's a lot. You guys need a break. We support that.
I get it.
It's a win. It's a win-win for everyone.
Yeah.
So that's happening. So there you go. So
do that.
So do that. And in the meantime, we'll just briefly touch on. There are no new upcoming shows. We've already talked about everything that's happening. But
the Erie Playhouse is doing Finding Nemo Junior.
Yes.
Right now.
We've mentioned this, though.
We have.
But we're going to talk about it again anyway, as a reminder.
We are. And we're going to try to get somebody on the show.
Yeah, from the show.
Maybe the entire Crest family.
Is this peer pressure right now?
Maybe.
You're putting them on the air and now they can't say no?
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it working?
Is it
working?
Is it, Rick? Is it?
So there's that. So Finding Nemo is happening at the Playhouse, and that runs until May 21st.
Yep.
Yeah, and there's a sensory-friendly performance on Sunday, May 14th. I'd like to mention that.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, like we mentioned, you have another weekend to see Heathers that also runs through the 21st. There is Kingdom Come opening at Dramashop on June 9th, running through the 25th.
What is Susan's Secret? At All
Yes, also running through the 21st. And at the Station Dinner Theater, June 3rd through 17th is Savannah Sipping Society. Also, one thing we haven't mentioned, which I should have because my dad is in this, is Midsummer Night's Dream is happening through the MCT, and that is the first weekend of June only. And that's going to be at the Goodell Gardens in Edinburgh. It's an outdoor performance, but it's rain or shine, and it's going to be awesome.
Can't wait for that. Our good friend BJ Angstad is playing Puck.
Robin Goodfellow.
That's going to be fantastic. Can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
And,
Shakespeare is so much better when you can see it live rather than reading it. Like, if you're not a Shakespeare fan, which I admittedly am not the biggest Shakespeare fan. I do really enjoy Midsummer Night's Dream, but when you see it live, it's a completely different experience.
Yeah. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up for us today.
I agree. I have nothing else to say.
Teeth the musical.
We hope that was the highlight for you.
Teeth.
What other body parts can we turn into a musical?
Armpit.
There's hair. There's already hair the musical. See?
Armpit the musical. Eyelid.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah. Nostril.
Are you just going to name all the body parts now?
Kneecap.
I guess that's a yes.
Earlobe.
How, okay.
Ankle.
Head, Shoulders, Knees, and Toes, the musical. That'll be the only song they sing the entire time.
Calf.
we're still going here.
Elbow. Okay,
I'm just waiting for him to stop. I know I can't. I have no power here.
Yeah, no, we're gonna wrap it up. There'll be more of that on our Patreon if you want.
Right. Yeah. If you want Ryan to list every organ, every muscle, every bone.
I did play Slim Goodbody once, so.
So he is well prepared.
Spleen. Okay. We love you, Erie, and we will see you next week. Go support your local theater.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.